Is this the solution to the Juju nerf? Well, I think it's time to find out. Over the past almost 3 years, Hypixel Skyblock has provided us with numerous new weapons and balancing updates. This most recent one obviously being one of the most controversial and I guess hated by some people. But every time this happens, there's always a solution, there's always an alternative, and today we're going to be taking a look at that alternative and just seeing if it's really that good. Now, before we even get into anything, I just want to say to the person that affirmed that the Spirit Bow was actually turned into a short bow, you are a genius and deserve a Medal of Honor. Probably a knighthood's more fitting, but anyway. And what we're seeing at the moment is the fall of the Juju short bow and the subsequent rise of the Spirit Bow. Now all I'm saying is imagine if you invested in Spirit Bows at this point, absolutely rolling in the cash. Anyway, we've been lent this Spirit Bow by one of my subscribers, which I am definitely thankful for. I'm running a bit low on coins after my Juju short bow investment, which is actually not going very well at the moment. It's only Soul Eater 2, but let's be honest, realistically, most people who had a Juju probably didn't have a Soul Eater 5 one, so what's the difference? First of all, this here Spirit Bow is around about 16 million coins at the moment, and the equivalent Juju short bow is actually around about 15 million coins, so this is actually more expensive than the Juju, which obviously makes sense, it's more accessible. And as far as stats go, a regular Spirit Bow is legendary, where a regular Juju is epic. This Spirit Bow gives plus 210 base damage, whereas the Juju gives plus 310. The Spirit Bow gives plus 100 strength, whereas the Juju only gives plus 40. Then the Spirit Bow's got a 6-second cooldown, it doesn't actually give you any crit chance or crit damage increase, which is a little bit weird. Whereas the Juju short bow gives plus 10 crit chance and plus 110 crit damage. So in theory, the Juju short bow should and does do quite a lot more damage. But this video is not about the Juju short bow. It's about the Spirit Bow. Is it good? Is it viable? Is it worth the coins if you can't, well, get Enderman 5? But before we do take a look at the Juju's replacement, obviously we all know it's imperative to subscribe to Nitros and all of that jazz. And that's because at the moment we're actually trying to beat the population of San Marino with subscribers. Now the population of San Marino is around about that of YouTube rank, what a coincidence. Now the plan is to actually visit San Marino in a video if we get to YouTube rank. We'll be able to claim we have more subscribers than the whole population of the country, which would be absolutely ridiculous. All I'm trying to say is make sure you are subscribed to the channel, it would help out a lot, motivates me to make the videos and so on. Anyway, back to the video. Anywho, we've got our Spirit Bow, we've got our Skeleton Pet, and not really in Juju non-fashion, we've got Necron armor with the Trenchless helmet, but anyway, we'll work with it. Also got our accessory bag to Hurtful with our bonus attack speed as the tuning. Okay, so the Spirit Bow, what sort of damage does it do? 135k, 137k. I've got to say at the moment the server is absolutely incredibly laggy and completely and utterly dying for anyone in Europe. Like, I've just clicked onto 30 Virus' stream and the guy's enjoying like 30 ping, whereas I am struggling to even be on this game. Like, getting these damage tests are not so simple, you know, when the game doesn't want to let you shoot an arrow, but nevertheless, as expected, the Spirit Bow works like a short bow, whereas you hold down and it shoots. It's not like a traditional bow, thank God for that, because that would be very toxic of the game. Does some decent damage, probably damage comparable to like a Livid Dagger in this setup, or maybe even a Flower of Truth. Now, something I do want to bring up is the cooldown, the shot cooldown on this Spirit Bow. So it's 5 seconds. Whereas on the Juju, it's 3 seconds, so in theory, you're going to be shooting faster with the Juju short bow, which obviously is quite a big benefit. Anywho, most people are going to be using this Spirit Bow, probably aren't just going to be using it to kill zombies in the graveyard, so we're going to go into dungeons and see what it can do, if I can even get into a dungeon, and when I get into a dungeon, if I can even move, because it's just too laggy. Like this Hypixel Skyblock's got to drop. It's got to drop some EU servers real quick, real fast. Like, it's bad when the dungeon hub doesn't load in fully at first time of asking. What's happening, boys? Help. Please help. Okay, so we're not doing terrible damage, like 1.5 mil. Although, what I would... We'll not die, shall we not? Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, 3.4 mil. Obviously, if we had higher Soul Eater on this, it would be doing substantially more damage. So this isn't the maximum this could do, and obviously your stats will affect sort of how much damage you do as well. Now, I think the biggest issue that you've realistically got with this Spirit Bow is in dungeons. If you're a Berserk, crit damage is very, very important, and this does not offer any crit damage bonus at all, whereas the Juju short bow does. Hence, the reason why this just isn't as good as the Juju short bow, but if it's the only thing you can use, it'll definitely get the job done in lower floors. I'll tell you that for a fact. I was gonna do a bit of a damage test on Lost Adventure, but sorry, I didn't want to do it anyway. And as proven, it gets easiest pluses on floor 1, boys. I feel like I probably started a bit too low, but I wasn't even expecting to be able to play the dungeon, so give me some slack. Okay, so I'm currently editing the video. As I'm editing the video, I just realised that I didn't even pick the archer class when I went into the dungeon, like I was still a mage. Probably why I was doing so little damage. I did think it was a bit strange. So yeah, Nitro's big noob, probably actually is a Juju non, even though he's not under 5, so he can't be, but okay, just don't believe me. Although what I'm about to say still applies. So in conclusion, what is the answer to the question? Is the Spirit Bow a worthy replacement for the Juju Shortbow? And I've got to say yes and no. To be honest, the Spirit Bow can't really compete with the Juju Shortbow in terms of damage, especially as a Berserk or an Archer, just purely because the Spirit Bow doesn't give you an increase of crit damage, and it also doesn't give you as much base damage. The Spirit Bow at the moment is actually going to be marginally more expensive when you start putting upgrades on it as well. But obviously the massive benefit to the Spirit Bow is obviously you don't need Enderman 5. So what I'd say is, if you have the coins, buy the Spirit Bow, use the Spirit Bow. At the same time, grind Enderman Slayer, get Enderman Slayer 5, sell the Spirit Bow, and buy the Juju Shortbow back. It's that simple. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video or want to watch more, you just can't get enough of the Nitro's channel, then be sure to check out my previous upload. I feel like a lot of people probably missed it. The algorithm really didn't sort of do me justice there. It was a pretty interesting video where we bought entrance carries. You can go and watch it after this video. It'll be on the end cards. Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.